And what does it mean to you to receive this recognition from the readers of motorsport?
Well, it's far greater than I thought. I remember going to a small event in the centre of London about 5 years ago, and it was a bit sort of countrified. And I come along here to the R&T Club, and it's really like one of the greatest motorsport reunions you'll ever see. So it's really special to see everybody here. I mean, it's just magnificent. And motorsport to me was the first magazine I ever looked at, because it's probably only one around in 1949. But it was just special what they do. They were trumpet sport in a way. They're still there today, putting on a slightly different angle into motorsport, which is much more interesting, I think, from all the weeklies. And they have great journalists doing it, and they really bother to delve into our history and, to be part of that and sometimes get mentioned in it. It was pretty special.
During your career, you became synonymous, I think, with Le Mans. What makes that race so special?
Well, I'd like to think that there's a lot of Formula One guys here, but I think it's the greatest race in the world for many, many reasons, because it goes on about 10 times longer than the Grand Prix. But it's not that. I mean, I love Grand Prix racing, and I did it myself, so I've got a great passion for Formula One, always will have. I loved it. It's the greatest car I'll ever drive. But I got stuck into Formula One for various reasons, and thanks to Ferrari and John Surtees and Bruce McLaren, and those people that I drove with over the years, I ended up having a few really great races, but going on to sports cars. And, to drive again for Ferrari and then for Porsche, and then sort of various other manufacturers over the years, including McLaren, which was fantastic in 95 with my son Justin and 96. So, I had a very varied career. But Le Mans, I think, just gives everybody an opportunity that maybe doesn't get quite the best prize they wanted in F1, like Tom, who I think should have been the Grand Prix world champion. We got the chance to do other things, and not that any Formula One driver probably could do just what we do if they had the mentality to do it. Don't get me wrong, I'm not being rude about Grand Prix drivers, but we have that sort of, maybe we're more passive, maybe we're prepared to wait a little longer for some results. And Le Mans special in that reason. I mean, there's 3 wonderful races in the world. One's Le Mans, the other one's Monaco, and I think Indy's pretty close to it. It certainly used to be. Perhaps not so much these days, but there's some wonderful races out there, and various of it in the film have been part of that history.
Well, for us to have 2 of the great Le Mans drivers in history on stage together is just such an honour. Tom, you raced in more recent eras than Derek. He went from Porsche 917 to the Group 2 years, and almost won the race for a 6th time at McLaren in 1995. That's quite some career span, isn't it?
No, it's fantastic. But I mean, just listening to Derek, I mean, he was an idol of mine when I was wearing shorts for the first time. Now I wear shorts again to pretend I'm younger. But looking at the pictures, I can't see any difference on Derek's face. I mean, obviously living in Florida half the year must help a bit on that, I'm sure. But I think his career has been fantastic, and with having such, just listening to him, and the way that he played the sport, he's such a gentleman. I mean, I know he can listen to it, but it's just so, it's for everyone. It's to give everyone in the world. I know you have national treasures, you have a lot of great national treasures in this country, but worldwide, Gurney is one of them, which we all respect, and every young driver definitely, and now in the Hall of Fame, will learn a lot from. And I look up for that myself during my years as a driver. And you can't, or drivers can't, to think sometimes a little bit out of the box after they retire. And I can say that's correct now. So the time I had with Derek, when he was ambassador with Bentley, I drove 1 year there, I can say it was absolutely true. And it's been wonderful to see him join this great club we have here in this country, but I can't would say worldwide.
Derek, do you look back at all with a particular fondness of any particular time in your career?
Very difficult, because it was quite a long time. But from 64 with the latest 7 until, 2000, the early 2000s. But I think I mean, I drove, as I said just now, for such magnificent cars, manufacturers, wonderful teammates, because you can't do it without teammates in sports cars, and teams when you're in other formula. And I had such a varied career, including doing the RAC Rally, for example, so I did a bit of everything. And it was a fantastic experience. But I think the one thing that always took my mind was 95 driving with the Sunday. And so it was finished, third on Father's Day, down on that Miner's rostrum, having driven the McLaren. It was, thank goodness, Andy Wallace, but it was fantastic, very special.
Very special time. Well, sports car racing remains dear to the hearts of motorsports leaders. I know, Derek, you'll be a very popular addition to our club. It's a national treasure, ladies and gentlemen, as Tom just said. Derek Bell, and our thanks to Tom Christensen.